Welcome to Find You Fridays. It's me, Lorene. I am your connector for this evening. How does it get any better? Hi, Holly. How have you been? I have been wonderful, thank you. I feel like I've been rising like the sunshine. So hence the orange for today. Don't know why I chose orange. I don't normally choose orange, but there we go. Orange we are doing. How are you? So good to have you with me today. Good old cup of tea. What I love a good cup of tea at this time of the day. Hi, Tony. How are you, beautiful? Thank you for your early donation, Tony. You are on the list. You're first off the ranks today, but we'll get through our weekly reading first. Who wishes to come play for the weekly reading? Okay, cool. It's been a little while, Holly, since we've had a proper little chin wag. But I appreciate your company, even if you don't say too much. I appreciate your presence and the fact that you're here. Oh, that's going to be a thing all night, isn't it? Oh, dear. Hey, Rick. Aw. There you go, ladies. For all of those who have not received a rose this week, Rick's given one up freely for you. All right. Yeah. Tony, a little bit sad. I've let Nala go because I can't look after her properly with my breathing. Oh, hun. Wow. That's a lot. So for those of you who don't know, Nala is Tony's beautiful pussycat. So I'm sure Nala went to a good place, like good home, and you would have made sure of that. But that's a tough one. I know, I've been there. My last cat that I ever had, her name was JJ, and she was a part big fluffy one. And I can't think of the name right now, but she was half of that and half sort of a grey tabby, and she was freaking gorgeous. Yeah, and when my first marriage ended, I had to let go of JJ because she was just, she stayed with my mum, but my mum didn't want her, and she wasn't taking good care of her, and she was getting very, very frightened, and she was like scared and underneath the bed all the time and wouldn't come out and stuff like that. And because she was kind of more of a city cat than a country cat, and so my beautiful granddad found a friend of his who had recently lost his cat. So he was more than happy to have a very loving little fluff ball, and she lived out the rest of her days with him. So, So yeah, hi Tamara. So yeah, that was one of the harder goodbyes that I had, you know. So yes, I get it. It is tough. It is tough to let them go when you have that realization that you just can't give them the quality of life that they really require. So heart goes to you, Tony, definitely. are you going, Tamara? How's everything tracking for you this week, my dear? I know sometimes it's an hour-to-hour, week-to-week thing, isn't it? Or day-to-day thing. And I'm sorry, Rick, that the dude's 15 minutes late to pick up that bit of for you to pick up that furniture. That's a bit of a pain in the arse. Hope it's not raining there. So what we're shuffling for now is the collective reading for this week from the 22nd through to the 28th of March. So thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. It is coming right at the 28th of March. We're in pre-shadow period for the next new moon. So yay. Moved a day out. Isn't that fun? Hi, Catherine. Hello, sweet pea. How are you going this week? Well, at least, Tony, you'll still get updates about her, and I'm sure that the lady that Nala goes to will actually be able to just keep you in touch with her anyway. That would be lovely. Hi, Melinda. Oh, look, love, you're not really late. Not really. Not really. How was your day today, Melinda? I can tell you all that what have we got? Okay, Tamara, pretty glad it's Friday. Found out this week that my office job will finish up soon. The universe is creating a whole lot of space for me to step into my purposeful life. Now I just have to do it. Yes. How exciting. That is so cool. I'm glad you're seeing it in a positive way. Thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate you sharing. Rick, he's left his keys inside and he's waiting on security. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Well, we are in Mercury retrograde, which does mean a lot of slowing down. So perhaps you just had to slow down a little bit. All right, let's have a look and see what the secret language of your soul cards, these ones by Ina Segal, has to tell us as the collective for this week to come, because there's all sorts of interesting energies. We've obviously just slipped over into Aries, my happy little sign. And so there's a lot of fiery. No wonder I chose red. Oh, duh. Now I know why I chose red and orange, and that makes a lot of sense now. Couldn't figure out why I chose orange today. There we go. Now I know. The things you know before you know that you know them. Interesting. Thank you, Rick. Alrighty. So Melinda says that she is just decluttering still. He can only do so much as the bins get full, and I have to wait for the correct week for them to be emptied, but all good. Taking heaps of stuff to savers, which is great. Fantastic. Yeah, I'd have to say being able to repurpose like that is so lovely. Yeah. Tamara says, at the beginning of the year, I was asking for more time, and the universe is like, here you go. Oh, yes, as they say, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. Just not in the way you thought you would. Isn't that right, Rick? All right. So for this week to come, obviously we're coming into this new moon. And there's a lot of energy still up. We've changed our sun signs. We're almost at the tail end of Venus coming out of retrograde, if I remember correctly. I think that finishes up at the end of this month. We're in Mercury retrograde at the moment. So we've got a lot of stuff, and there's some other, I think there might be one other floating around right now, but don't quote me on that one. But basically, there's a lot of energy up right now. There's a lot of emotional stuff. We're sitting in between the eclipses. That's the other thing that's happening right now, because it is eclipse season. So there's a lot of emotional stuff up at the minute, and people just feeling a lot more tender than what you might normally feel. And that's something to be very aware of for yourself. For others, I know for me this morning, I was having a very funky morning, and with the gift of having a beautiful conversation, I was able to dig down a little bit and figure out what the hell all of this was. And there was a lot of tears, I can tell you that much. And it was beautiful because I felt so much better afterwards. So yay, thank you to the good friends that I have around me, because without them, I don't know that I would have processed it quite the same way as what I did, or as quickly. So yeah, there's a lot of emotions up right now, and a lot of stuff being reflected back from, past traumas. Coping mechanisms that you may have used in the past are no longer working, and so it's a bit scary and all of that sort of shit. So yeah, it's an exciting time. But I'm happy to say, with my face mask and chilling out watching a lovely movie, I was able to take away my big old puffy bags under my eyes. And I had a lovely afternoon. So how's it getting better? Anyway, so the first card for this collective, of course, in a collective reading, you take what resonates for you. You might just sort of have it on the back of your mind and kind of go, oh, wow, that totally makes sense. And, for those of you who love to watch my replays, maybe have a look at this part of the replay next week and see if I was correct. All right, so we've got the first card here is create family balance, the ties that bind also free. So with everything that we know that's going on at the moment with all of the emotional stuff, don't be surprised if some of that old family crap starts coming up. So the ties that bind, obviously, they're talking about the blood ties and things like that, can also free you, because this life, as I've said many times, this lifetime is about clearing a lot of those old generational traumas. So don't be surprised if that stuff comes up. Don't be surprised if you get a little bit of a fire in your belly about it. You might get a bit angry and pissed off. And then just look underneath that anger a little bit further and see where the hurt is coming from. Because, even when we get frustrated, quite often frustration is actually the nice way of expressing anger. So we look underneath the anger and then we go, oh, okay, there is the hurt that's sitting under there, and it's feeling a bit raw. Okay. Tony said that she's got a face mask, not like mine that I used today, but it's more creamy. I might do that tomorrow afternoon. That sounds beautiful. I love that. We got the next card, which is perfect for the face mask talk. Rest and review your path. Assess what is and what isn't working in your life. So when we rest and review, this is about slowing down. So this is why this is important, and why this has come up right now is because Mercury retrograde is about slowing down. and giving us the space that we require to be able to look at things from different perspectives. So given there was another situation that happened this week, some of you who follow me on Facebook will already know about it, but I'll talk about it in a moment. That incident gave me the moment to pause and reflect on what is and isn't working for me. And it meant that I only had to work 5 hours that day, which is fantastic because I've worked a lot of other hours during the week. So I was over my minimum allowance anyway. Perfect. And I'm just just looking into the next card. So yes, rest and review your path. Assess what isn't working in your life. This is the time to do it. I love that some of you are out there decluttering at the moment, because that's about assessing what isn't working in your life. And that's a beautiful thing. Tony, as hard as it is, I know that, looking after Nala has been hard for you. So well done for being brave and allowing her to go to someone who can be able to give her all the love and care and be able to do it with ease. I know that you'll miss her terribly, but you'll be calm in the knowledge that she's doing well. Okay, so that's wonderful. And Tamara, of course, you're having that moment of going, oh, what does actually work for me? So look forward to that. Enjoy. The next card, relax. We've got rest, relax, into the unknown, initiate with trust. So when we start stepping into areas that we've not really trod before, it can be very scary. It can be very unnerving. It reminds me a lot. The image that I just keep getting whenever I come up with that sort of thing is my little niece when she was, I don't know, maybe a toddler. No, maybe she was about one-ish. She was at the stage of walking. But her mum, bless her heart, had gone a bit germaphobe at the time. And so she was never allowed to go out on the grass because she might get dirty. And when she came to stay with my brother and my mum's got a lovely lawn. And that lawn has lovely grass. And my little niece, they wanted to go and just play outside on the grass with my niece and her older brother. And they went to put her down on the ground just to sit or even just stand. And her little legs went straight up like that. So she was coming parallel to the ground because she's like, oh my God, I'm not allowed to go on this grass. No. Fear of the unknown. Now in Australia, I can understand that reaction. But in New Zealand, we don't have a lot of bugs that bite us. We don't have a lot of spiders. We don't that will hurt us. We don't have snakes. We don't have, any of that sort of stuff. It's the worst thing we get is a dirty feet. Bit of grass stains, that's about the worst we can get it. But that's what the image that happens whenever I think of stepping into the unknown. It's that moment of my little niece when she was too young to understand, with her legs up in the air because she was too scared to sit on the grass. Hi, Samantha. Lovely to have you. And I would just say, just breathe. Breathe it through. If you're feeling, oh, cool. See, Samantha, I go South Australia or Adelaide, Australia when I'm on chats, because much like yourself, you probably just realized I went, South Africa? Lovely to have you. It's nice to have another local in the crew. Thank you so much for being here. So relax into the unknown for this next week. There's going to be some new areas to just explore. Take it easy, relax into it, breathe. Okay. This next card for the collective, coming in towards the end of the week. Discover new ways of thinking. Open your mind. So, of course, this is the time to you've sort of done that groundwork over the week, just decluttering a little bit more, clearing away the things that aren't working, going, okay, I'm preparing, I'm relaxing, I'm sitting in my meditation, whether that be a formal meditation or just a meditation of the mind of just like, yeah, I'm open and I'm leaning into this. And now we are into new ways of thinking to open your mind. There's going to be some stuff that's going to start coming through towards the end of next week or this coming week that is going to give you some really good ideas, some brain waves, some like little things. Don't be surprised if they start popping through at odd hours of the day is what I'm getting. I'm seeing a clock. So just don't be surprised if you're like almost asleep and a little idea pops into your mind and you go, oh, I'll remember that in the morning. No, you probably won't. So either grab your phone, type it into your phone, send yourself a message, do a note, whatever, have a little notebook next to your bed, write it down. The other place that ideas often will come is when you're on the toilet or in the shower. And the reason for that is you're very close to water. And water is a fabulous conduit for the spirit world, as in like your spirit team can communicate with you with a lot more ease. The universal energy can communicate with you when you're near water. So that's why a lot of our ideas come to us in those odd spaces. So one idea is that I have had is to have a whiteboard marker in the bathroom and you just write it on the mirror. As soon as you get out of the shower, just write it on the mirror, and then it's like, okay, cool. I've secured that for the moment. Just as an idea for something. And the other card that I actually got first was understanding for the yummy card, but I reshuffled it. And the second card that I got was imagination. So this week is going to be a lot of just being aware that the energies up at the moment are very full on. They are making you dive deep into your heart space. You will be assessing your heart hurts and then moving through those coming into through this week. So don't be surprised if you get emotional. Don't be surprised if the people around you get emotional. But if you find that it's not, just clearing very easily, have a chat with a friend who's non-judgmental and allow yourself to process it through. Okay. So, oh, well, we've got lots of cool stuff happening in the chat. So that's the collective reading for this week to come. Exciting times. I should take a photo just so that because I didn't do one last week, did I? So I will take one new. Oh, not a selfie. Not a selfie right now, thank you. It's a terrible angle for a selfie if I was going to take one. All right. So let me see. So Samantha was born in Queensland. Fabulous. And moved to Adelaide 30 years ago. Wow. That would be about double the time that I've been here. You must love South Australia to decide to stay here for that long. I do. I love it here. Tamara is originally from South Australia and only moved to Queensland 3 years ago. Fabulous. And Tony has a notebook for those bright ideas at the weird times of night. Fantastic. Oh, Amanda, hello. Oh, thank you, darling. Yes, she's a glowing. Hasn't had a lot of sun as such. Well, sort of yes, but sort of no. But no, face masked. Did some self-care. It was great. The thing with my hair, with these lovely silvery bits, is that there is no color. So every now and then I'll feel a tickle, and it's kind of like, imagine walking into a cobweb. And quite often it'll be, oh, no, it's just one of my hairs that I can barely see because it's see-through. I'm very lucky. I have very, very, very grey, like white grey. I love it. Alrighty, Tony, you are first up for our paid readings. So thank you so much for your very kind donation and kicking us off. So what question do you have today? So while Tony's getting ready with her question and popping that into the chat, let's have a look, see what cards they're asking to come through for her today. So I can start shuffling them. Cool. So, in interesting news is, about 2.5, nearly 3 weeks ago now, I got woken up at about, I don't know, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. And all I could hear was, check the lights, 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 check the lights. And it was just like, what the hell are you talking about? All the lights are off. And it was like, check the lights, check the lights. And it just got louder and louder and louder. And it was like, I just could not go to sleep, could not go back to sleep. So I was like, oh, fine. So I got up and I checked the lights. Everything was off. Every light in the house was off. There didn't seem to be anything funky or weird going on. So I was like, whatever. Then on about, what would it have been, Monday? Maybe. The light in my fridge started doing funny things. And I was like, this is a bit strange. And so I was just kind of ignored it, that I'm busy working and I've got too many things on my brain right now, blah, blah, blah. I'll just ignore it. Maybe it's just the bulb was starting to go. Then the fridge itself started to beep a lot, like just like an alarm type beep, not like the doors open and it's going beep, beep, come on, you've got your fridge open. It was like beep, 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 and I'm like, but it would go for a bit and then would stop. And I'm like, and it would go when I open up the door, and then I'd see the light flickering, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just linked to the light. I'll get the bulb changed or whatever. Hi, Rick. I'm glad you got it back. I'm guessing you got the piece of furniture that you were off to get anyway. And so I got home on Wednesday night, went to go and check the bulb to see if it was okay, turned the fridge off at the wall, because obviously if you're working with electronics, you turn it off at the wall, took the cover off, checked the bulb looked fine. And I thought, I'll just turn the fridge back on with the bulb out, see if it's still doing that funny noise, like the beepy noise. Turn the switch on, and it went buzz, buzz, and I was like, there's a really strange smell, because, electricity burning smell. So I was like, and I looked down at the plug and I went, oh, shit. Quickly turned it off, and then I felt the plug of the fridge, and I was like, shit, that's hot. And there was right in the center of the faceplate, it's a double plug, in the center of the faceplate was this black hole with smoke coming out of it. And I'm like, holy shit. So I moved the fridge plug to another plug, got an extension cord, put the bulb back in after I cleaned it off and everything and my fingerprints, put the cover back on, turned the fridge on, totally fine. There's nothing wrong with the fridge whatsoever. Got in touch with the real estate agent. There was an electrician rang me within 20 minutes, and the young fella came out the next morning and got it fixed. But it was very scary to think if I hadn't done what I did, if I hadn't checked the bulb and then turned things off and turned things back on again, holy shit, I could have absolutely had a house fire in the middle of the night when I wasn't looking at it, maybe not even survived. So my team, I think, was protecting me. My team was saying, hey, check the light, because the light will lead you to the fridge, which will lead you to the socket. So they could have been a little bit more specific. It's like, come on, team, level up. But it was kind of like them giving me a pre-warning that, hey, something's going to go funky with a light. Watch out for it. So I feel very, very grateful to be here. I feel grateful that the socket is now fixed. It was apparently just a loose wire, and that had then just short-circuited, and a very old socket as well. So, yeah, good job, team. Absolutely, I'm so grateful, and so, and I am almost certain that they kind of wrapped enough energy around that spot so the fire didn't head up the wall or anything like that. So very, very, very lucky. So if you get any funny things like that, don't fob it off so quickly, because you never know, it just might actually save your life. Actually, I think if I jump back to there, I could probably show you guys the photos, because they have gone and changed things, which is pretty cool. So let me see if I can do that. I think I will be able to show you guys. This will be cool. All right. That one, I guess. Nope, not that one. There we go. Okay, so there we go. You can see there's that lovely black hole and a bit of smoke, like, well, the remnants of, yeah, that was a bit scary. That was a little bit scary, just to say. And I'll show you what it looked like on the inside. That's what it looked like on the inside. So I know you guys can't see my pointer, but if you look in the middle of the screen, there should be like a wire sticking out of, so there's 1, 2, and there should be a wire above the green and yellow one, but there's not, because it had burned itself off. So that's what then created the hole in the middle of the faceplate back here. Lovely. absolutely lovely. And there was some like smoke burning up on the other side where that connects into the wall as well. But thank goodness the guy was able to pull down some fresh wire. And so there's no, because even that bottom wire, you see how it's a bit sort of degraded and stuff. And so he was able to, because it's obviously been affected by the fire, the electricity rolling through. So he was able to pull it down and give it some nice fresh stuff, put a brand new socket in there. So yeah. So yes, fascinating stuff. There we go. Back to that. It was very, very close. Very close. I just find it so fascinating that my team tried to give me that warning 2 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago or previous. I was like, amazing. It was a very close call. Amanda, that's like me when I say I need more science. Yeah, I hear you. All right, so jumping back up to Tony. There we go. So that was the incident this week. There's always something going on in my world. You guys know that. That's what makes being friends with me so fun and exciting, because there's always something. I've never, ever been a person that's gone, oh, same old, same old. Somebody says to me, oh, how's life? What's going on? Oh, same old, same old. Same shit, different day. No, that's not me. There's always something. Oh. Okay, what would Tony's team like her to do? This is an interesting question, Tony. Ooh, yay, cards are finally coming out. I love it. Can you even believe it? Like, we're an Aries sign now. How is that even possible? I don't understand how the months are just disappearing so quick. So quick. Have you got any other courses or anything else, areas of study that you would like to do, Tony? All right. So that your team actually chose were the Mystic Healing cards, okay, by Ina Segal. And the first card that you got was Awaken Your Vulnerability, which is allow others to meet your unprotected heart. So I'm going to read a little bit, and then we'll keep moving through and seeing what other awarenesses come up. So to be vulnerable with your feelings, let me see if I can get that closer to you so you can get a good idea of the image. There we go. It's an interesting image, isn't it? To be vulnerable with your feelings requires profound courage and a decision to break the hard shell of protection that keeps you separated, isolated, and afraid of others. Vulnerability connects you to the most hidden aspects of your soul. In this exploration, you have the possibility of discovering your most intimate, delicate, creative, surprising aspects. This may require you to develop more understanding and compassion for yourself and your life's journey, whilst at the same time moving past the pain of rejection or abuse you may have experienced, which caused you to shut down. Whilst it's important to keep certain people at a distance, there are others who are already in or about to come into your life. These people can hold space for you to step into a soft, honest, gentle exploration of your heart melody. If you refuse and keep suppressing your feelings, you will become exhausted, numb, frustrated, and cold. It's time to warm your heart and start to become more in touch with what is happening inside your body. What pain are you holding in your lungs, your heart, your throat, your kidneys in particular? Okay, so that's an interesting one, right? Thanks, Rick. Apparently, I was tuning into my fire sign side. So, yeah, awaken your vulnerability. You're a tough lady. And I don't mean that as in hard-headed, but I guess in some ways I do. You've been through a lot. You've had to do a lot for yourself. And with that comes a lot of moments where it's like heavy boundaries have been, or barriers, not boundaries, but barriers have been put in place. And this card coming up is saying it's time for those barriers to come down. It's time for you to soften just that little bit more. And I know that's scary, really scary, but at the same time, it's time to just breathe it through, let people in, soften your heart, soften your space. Yeah, we can deal with a lot of rejection in our lives. There is a process that I do using the techniques of theta healing. And the first time I did this process for myself, or the first chunk of time, I ended up doing it something like 64 times on different things, on ex-partners, on current partners, on family, on workplaces, on people that I've worked with, on real estate agents and banks and all sorts of things, even the government. I did it with the government too. And it was fucking intense. I didn't do them all at once. I did the process 64 times. And so it's interesting because when we deal with a lot of rejection in our lives, we can do one of two things. We can either go, right, that's it, boom, up goes the walls, and I'm not going to let anybody go past those walls, because if they come past those walls, then they're going to hurt me, and then I'm going to have to deal with this shit all over again. That's one choice. Another choice is to go, well, thanks for showing me that. Thank you for showing me your true colors. And I'm grateful that you've done that, because now I can happily escort you out of my life. I don't have to play in that playground anymore. I can go over here and play in this playground and be my gentle, loving self and not have these big, huge walls up. So I can welcome in the people that are loving and are kind and match my energy. And I think we get those moments in our life where it is a challenge to see, okay, just how open are you? Just how willing to be vulnerable are you? Just how willing to be magical are you? Okay? So that's your first card. Let's have a look at the next card. So you're being asked to soften. You're being asked to bring those walls down. You might require to do some healing around that. You might require to do some deep release work. You might require to do some ho'oponopono on that. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. Okay. The next card is practice positivity. Stop judging and start looking for the good. All right. So this is also about yourself, and mostly about yourself. Okay. So it's time to focus on everything in your life that is positive. Positivity adjusts your point of view and allows you to see every situation through the lens of optimism. Part of the challenge that this card presents is to encourage you to cease any judgment or harsh behaviors with others, particularly with yourself. You are being asked to become vigilant, not only with what you say, but also with every thought. Now, the fact that we have more than 6,000 thoughts a day, that's a lot, but it's asking you to be aware, okay? Each positive thought has the power to heal and uplift, whilst negative thought can harm and drown you. You will find that as you practice positivity, you will attract more positive thoughts, people, and opportunities. You will also start to enjoy your life more, opening up to the possibility of activating your intuitive abilities, awakening your spiritual gifts. Over time, no matter the challenge, you will be able to experience life with equanimity and an open heart. So we have spoken about this before, and this is very much around how you see yourself, how you function with yourself, and having gratitude for your beautiful body. No matter what it's giving you right now, having gratitude for it, because you know what? Without it, you wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be talking right now. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that you have your fingers so that you can type in your messages. I'm grateful that you have your ears so that you can hear me. I'm grateful for your eyes so that you can read the other messages that are coming up. And I think you also put like closed captions on the bottom, which would be really funny with my accent. But anyhow, I'm grateful that you have a safe, warm place to sleep. I'm grateful that your heart is still beating. I'm grateful that you have a wealth of knowledge under your belt already that you have been able to do a lot with. You've been able to share your knowledge with those around you, with your daughter. So cool. And even if they don't get it right now, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of healing work that you've already done. So keep going. Be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of your words. Be careful, because our words are very powerful. Our thoughts are very powerful. That's why it's called spelling. There's no mistake in that. Keep practicing your gratitude. Go back to the magic, the book by Rhonda Byrne. Perhaps that's what's coming through at the moment. That was actually, So if you haven't got that book, please get it and do the practices. Okay. Hi, Lynn. Lovely to have you with us. Your next card is 15. Ground yourself. All right. It's time for you to learn how to fully incarnate inside your body. The more connected you become with your body, the more insight, strength, and clarity you will experience. If you are used to living inside your head, this process could be initially a little uncomfortable as you become conscious of all the numb, dead, painful, unprocessed areas inside your body. Yet, if you courageously work on becoming fully embodied inside yourself, every aspect of your life will be filled with potency. You'll become more present, healthier, deliberate in your actions, and concrete in your life choices. Others will trust you and offer you more auspicious opportunities. You will no longer have to push or force things to happen. You will experience a knowing that the right possibilities are coming to you in the perfect way at precisely the best time. Sometimes our thought process of timelines does not match what the divine guidance is, what the divine timing is. And believe me, as a fire sign, it is one of the hardest things to cope with. It's like, no, I don't want to sit down, hurry up and wait. I wish to keep going and do this thing like yesterday. And your team goes, mm-hmm. Creator goes, mm-hmm. You got some work to do. You're not quite ready yet. You have a couple of pieces missing. Right? So we might actually do that process for our meditation tonight. Right? But yes, that's a beautiful invitation to become comfortable with some of those unprocessed areas of your world. Okay. Listen to your intuition. Yeah. Okay, your intuition is constantly sending you messages. You are being asked to become aware of what your inner wisdom is trying to tell you about your health and your intimate, as well as work-related relationships. Interesting. There are particular aspects of your relationships that require attention and a new approach. There are certain people and experiences that you have outgrown. Change is coming and you will require to make healthier choices. If you open the door to possibility, new people will appear in your life and they will be able to offer you a different perspective on how you live, love, and work. Your body is also trying to give you a message about your health. There are signs and symbols all around you. It's your job to listen to how to decipher them. When you awaken your heart chakra correctly, your intuition can flourish and you will know the difference between an illusion and a real spiritual perception. So, one of the things with this one is, and this is why when I'm in sessions, I put truth on the start of my questions, because truth cuts through refined judgment. So refined judgment is, so gross judgments, right? They're pretty obvious. But refined judgments kind of mask themselves off as intuition, as awareness, but they're actually not. They are kind of like those little parts of your ego that are trying to keep the status quo, even though it's not true intuition. So when I say truth on a question, if I'm looking at trying to gain some awareness around something, a choice I've got to make or something like that, I will put truth on the front of it. Truth, what will this create if I choose this? Truth, what will it create if I choose that? And if I have tested this out over the years, and it's so funny because when I don't put the truth on it, the awareness is wonky. And I can feel it. It goes, It's like, say if I'm using my body as a pendulum, it'll tend to go more sideways because mine is front and back, but it'll go kind of sideways or circular or something. And it's just like, it won't give me a proper answer. And that's because my thinky stinky head is getting into there. Okay. So that's an interesting one, right? And yeah, whenever you ask a question, truth, and I do it on here with the pendulum too, truth, what will it create? You know, I've done it many, many times. I tend to do it in my head rather than say it out loud, but yeah, I still do it. So listen to your intuition, but please put truth on the front of it so that you can, on the front of your questions, so that you can gain true awareness from your higher self, not your ego awareness. If your ego has awareness. Which leads us into your last card besides your yummy card, which is relinquish control and let go of controlling behavior. Your team is really hammering this message home, isn't it, this week? Instead of empowering you, control can turn you into an aggressive presence when the person you are trying to influence does not adhere to your wishes. Whenever you find yourself trying to control others, become conscious of what is really driving this compulsion. Do you feel afraid, unsafe, or vulnerable? What if you could experience those feelings without trying to dominate your environment? What are you holding on to? When you let go and begin to trust life, you open the door to a multitude of opportunities that you could not have fathomed. You also allow your loved ones to breathe out and be themselves instead of feeling like they constantly have to appease you. It's okay if you make mistakes. Perfectionism hardens you and disconnects you from your heart. Control can also negatively impact your brain, skin, digestive system, and reproductive system. Okay. So this one is a tough one. And I know this. I have been this for a long time, and it took a lot of courage to let it go, to just surrender. And that there are still moments when this pops up in my life, and it now battles with the surrendering, with the vulnerability side of me, with the softer sides of me. And because I know what it's like to not have to feel like I have to control everything anymore. It's like, it's okay. Things happen. It's okay. Stuff goes wrong. It's okay. We can breathe through it. It's okay. And when I see that anger coming up for me in those moments, I know that that's because my controlling side is wanting to come out and play. And it's like, no, we don't require that. It's okay. We can work through this. We can work with people instead of trying to bash their heads in. Even though sometimes bashing their heads in, I think, would be preferable. Not that I condone violence, but sometimes, we'll call it my Aries and my horse nature coming through. But yes. So please, it's time to let those barriers down, let those walls, barricades. Perhaps that could be part of our process this evening. It's one I haven't done in a long time, actually. So your yummy card is receptive, which means it's time to receive. It's time to receive more. It's time to open up your channels to Mother Earth even more. It's time to open up to the space of absolutely adoring your gorgeous body. I know that's hard for you because I know you struggle a lot with your health. And this is part of the challenge. This is why you have that challenge of all of your health issues. It's so that what I'm seeing is so that you can love yourself despite your health challenges. I get the sense that's part of what you came here to experience this lifetime, is the ability to love yourself no matter fucking what. keep working on it, hon. You've got this. You've absolutely got this. Okay. Thank you again for your very kind donation. I'm so, so grateful for you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of Find Your Fridays crew. I so appreciate that you tune in from New Zealand. That's so cool. I love it. I get my little taste of Kiwi. And it is, I feel very lucky to have you. So thank you, Tony. Right, there was some stuff happening over here on the chat, and I saw Lynn. I'm glad you're doing okay. Hi, Fiona. You know, when I go into readings and stuff, I don't always look at the chat because it's like information is just coming through. It's coming through, my friends. All right, Miss Tamara. Thank you. You're up next. Oh, believe me, Tony, softening after years and years is fucking hard. It's scary. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. It's a bit like anything. I was reminded during the week of, you know, that process of when you're learning to ride a bike, and the first few times is pretty hard. You wobble all over the place and you might fall off a few times. And then you kind of start to get a hang of what it is to balance on two wheels and move your legs and get your arms all going at the same time. And after a while, it's like you never ever forgot how to ride a bike or had to learn how to ride a bike because it's just natural. Lowering your barriers is exactly the same thing. You feel a bit wobbly and you feel a bit unsure, and it is scary, but it's okay. You get there. And then it's like you have so much more room to breathe. It's like when you learn to ride a bike and then suddenly you have this freedom to go distances that you couldn't do before. Well, you could, but it'd take you a hell of a lot longer, you know. Oh, Tony, I just read your message. I think it's because I'm hard on myself because of past people's opinions. It's about being called fake, etc. when I'm not, and that's hard. Honey, I've been called fake. I've been told my kindness is fake. My happiness is fake. And just remember, it's not about you. They are projecting. And I'm just remembering. So back before I was doing a lot of this sort of stuff, within the first couple of years that I was here, I was working in childcare, and I just kept bumping up against this one team leader who she was doing some pretty freaking dodgy shit, to be honest. And I was only an assistant, so I didn't have hi Agnes, hi, hello, good morning to you wherever you are calling in from or tuning in from. Tamara agrees, softening is so hard, but it requires creative safety from within. Absolutely. And hi, Edwina. Lovely to have you with us too. And like she was not being great to all the kids. The kids were actually, she was in the toddler room and she was stealing. She would mishandle the children sometimes. There was a lot of not great things. And of course I reported it, which meant that she was kind of being called out for her behavior. And at one point she tried to say I was just, making it up, trying to make her look bad. It was a personality clash, blah, blah, blah. Oh, fabulous. That is so cool. Coming in from Scotland. Thank you, Agnes. I love the Hoof GP. That's one of the YouTube shows I love to watch. Totally different topic. But anyhow, squirrel moment. And this one day we both got called into the director's office, and I said to her, look, what is it that I'm doing that is meaning that you can't work with me easily? Like, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you in your room and help take care of these kids. And, that's my job. And the thing she said is, because I said, look, if I know what I'm doing wrong or that's upsetting you, then perhaps I can work on changing that. I might not be able to, but if I can. And she said, well, your friendliness is fake. And I was like, oh, what? My friendliness is fake? She goes, yeah, it's like you're trying too hard or something. And I'm just like, right. I actually don't know any other way to be other than just this level of friendly, but okay, it's good customer service for a start. And then I just went, what I see now is I had an awareness at that time, and it came rolling out of my mouth. And I don't know if any of you else have had this kind of a moment where it's not until years later and you reflect on that and you go, oh, that's why that came out of my mouth. But my words to her was, didn't your mum say to you, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all? Wow, she blew up. She had the most massive reaction. And she got up and she stormed out and she slammed the door. And I looked at the director and I went, what? What did I say? And she goes, that probably wasn't the best thing to say to her because she has a really bad relationship with her mum. And I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Years later, of course, I see that I was aware of that. And I was basically calling her out on her own bullshit. And she didn't like it. So the moral of the story is, like Rick just said, what people think of me is none of my business. Right? The fact that she thought I was fake, she was projecting onto me. She would be really harsh with the kids during the day, but when their parents walked in, oh, hi, how's it going? Oh my God, your child's been so lovely today. They've done this, this, and this. And she was all bright and bubbly. But during the day, she was like a freaking sergeant major. The kids were so frightened of her that when they moved up to the preschool room, they went absolutely freaking bonkers because suddenly they weren't ruled with an iron fist anymore. And it took a good 3 months for the preschool teacher to cool them down, to get them to be calm and regulate their nervous system again. So, the other way about, yes. So yeah, it's fascinating what effect we allow people to have in our lives. So it is absolutely projections. Don't worry about it. You know your heart, you know your softness, you know your generosity. Just focus on that. Okay? All right. Tomato. There's your question. Love it. Um, whee, all the way back down. Okay, who's going to play with Tamara? Doo-da, doo-da. Oh, cool. Yeah, lots of interesting stories in my life about people who do and have done strange things. Because I am a student of the people, and so that includes a lot of observation of behaviors. And I'm grateful for it because it's helped me to learn a lot of, and because of my intuitive abilities, my empathic side of me, that psychic-y side where I can sort of see through the bullshit, which unnerves a lot of people, I'm not going to lie. It's been looking back, it's been the main contributing factor to why I had personality clashes at work, especially when I was working with women. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, Warwick. I agree. It is okay to honor yourself. It's a beautiful thing to do. In fact, Tony, I'm actually seeing you there, even though I'm focusing on Tamara, but I'm actually seeing you do a lot. You asked about what to do, and I'm actually seeing you doing a lot more meditation type stuff. And in doing the meditations for yourself, you'll find you might even be inspired to do them, record them for others, and release them. And you might find that you're actually doing these meditations and things at nighttime when it is a lot quieter. Maybe even get a little voice recorder, something that you can, like one of those lapel type ones that you can link it up with your phone and do voice recordings on your phone, and that'll give you a decent kind of sound. And I can see, because you can do that from your room, no problem, from where you are every day. And that practice will definitely assist you to do all the things that came out on the card work. So what the image I'm seeing is like a guru person, sitting there in the stance, like cross-legged, sitting there and just being at peace and doing meditation. But it's like there's a guided meditation part that you can encourage people to do. So that's what I was thinking. Yeah, student of people. It was a term gifted to me many years ago. And it was, I was confused at the time. I was only about 27, 28. And I asked for an explanation, and it was like, yeah, you like to know what makes people tick. And this was from somebody who had been our family GP. So she'd seen me from a very young age, like six years old, through to, so basically 20-something years of my development. And yeah, very astute lady. And she's right. Catherine, I've had similar experiences seeing through people's bullshit. It's both a blessing and a curse being a Come back. Thank you. Oh, people are fascinating. I think that's why I like watching. Sometimes I'll watch like series and stuff where you can see the dynamics of people. One show that I watched was this is going back maybe a month or so ago, was Alaskan Bush People. And that was a fascinating series to watch. So if you're a people watcher and you like seeing what makes people tick, that show is so good for that. So it's on Netflix if you're wondering. And I do love that sort of stuff. Oh yeah, Mercury retrograde. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. It's like, woohoo. Oh, yay, the cards are finally freeing up. Woo! Apparently tomorrow we had to slow down our conversation. Oh, scheiße. Oh. Apparently we're bringing in the German today too. How did we get so lucky? Is that all? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Yay! Cool. So, Tamara, the cards that came out for you were the Oracle of the Fairies cards from Karen Kay. Very pretty cards they are. They are fairly new to me, so we will see if I require extra info from the book, but I don't think we will because we'll see. I'm not going to say I don't. You just never know. The first card that we've got is Come Together. And the Come Together card is saying fairies like to be busy, and a group of them is showing you that many hands make light work. Working as a team helps to get the job done. So you can take note and then you can read the book later. So what I'm getting with this is like it's not all about doing it on your own. And this is life stuff. This isn't necessarily work stuff. I'm getting the sense that this is life stuff. So it's time to reach out to maybe some friends, some close friends of yours, and just do some fun stuff together. That's what I'm getting a sense of. It's like there's been a lot of seriousness going on in your world, and it's like now it's time to come together, have some fun, bring that kind of fairy type energy through, and just enjoy them. Like seriously, they're just having a grand old time and doing all the bits and pieces, right? So having the support of friends and or family, but I'm getting this as more of a friends thing of just coming together and just doing something. I'm not sure what, but it's something fun. That's what I was getting from this card for you. This next card, which is Ask for Help. Angels are celestial beings who protect everyone, and the fairies say now is the time for you to ask for angelic assistance. Okay, so what I'm seeing with this one is they're talking about your spirit team. And when we make a demand of our spirit team, which can include, the goddesses, Mother Earth, Father Sky, whatever it is, Creator, God, whatever you want to call it, when it comes from really at the bottom of your heart, when it comes from the depths of your guts, when you're like, make that really big demand to ask for help, magical shit can happen. And with the way that we are progressing as a collective now, when we ask for help from that space or demand help from that space, it's like it just opens up so quickly and you can receive it so fast. And even sometimes it's not even a big demand. It's like, for me, I was talking about something just recently, and within a couple of weeks, there it was for free. And that happens a lot to me at the minute. It's like, if it's not free, it's not, it's in my awareness and it's not costing me very much money. So it's like, how I don't know. It just does. It works that way. I actually get, if I haven't, the book that is popping into my mind right now is called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. I can't remember who it's by. I've got it in my Audible. So have a look at that one if you haven't got it already. But that's really great for learning how to work with manifestation, actualization, that sort of stuff. Okay. Your mother's maiden name was Hughes. That's beautiful. So that is my maiden name too. So the beautiful thing, Agnes, is that my family is English, Irish, Scottish is the main core of my blood lineage. I do have I think there's some Welsh in there and a little bit of Italian and a tiny touch of Dutch. just for shits and gigs. So yeah, I love I definitely wish to head over to Scotland at some point in the next 10 years. Would be lovely. But in the meantime, there's more explorations to happen around Australia. So purity is the next one. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. So we're asking for help. We're also coming together with our friends. We're having something fun organized, maybe for the weekend, maybe just a quick, spur of the moment thing. And as you soften and you open your heart, especially for this one, I know for you, asking for help is hard. I get it. Come from your heart, and your people will just go, whoosh. They will surround you very, very quickly. Okay. We got celebration. Get ready to let your hair down and celebrate. See, we're starting together with celebration. We're ending with celebration. It's time to get out there, dance and play, and an invitation could be on the way. How cool is that? Isn't that beautiful? So much gorgeous, beautiful, light energy around you right now. So definitely it's time. It's time to just shake off the cobwebs and get out there and have a little bit of a jiggy dance or whatever it is that tickles your fancy, and just enjoy some giggles and laughs with your friends. And you never know who or what might pop up to lighten your day, and just get out there and enjoy the sparkly energy of the fairies, because gosh, it's fun. See, some people see fairies as being evil and stuff like that. I think the people who think that fairies are evil do not comprehend the lightness and the brightness, and a bit like what we were saying earlier around People saying our friendliness is fake. Yeah, no. It's like, what if the fairies were just reflecting back to those people the darkness, the nastiness that they were being? So it's like, if you've seen any, if you see any photos, or not photos, but images of fairies, and they've got like those nasty rows of teeth, and they look like, I actually get a sense that that's actually a reflection back of what the people were. Hence the reason why it was yucky. All right, let me do a little bit of pendulum for you there, Tamara. My stones got all my crystals and stuff got charged by the moon. Yes, this is the one I wish to use. All right. So, truth. So show me your yes. Show me your no. Thank you. I know you guys can't see that. I'm sorry. Oh, hang on. Okay. Show me the yes. Thank you. Show me the no. Thank you. So, truth. Will Tamara's finances be abundant enough for her to be comfortable? Yes. Truth. Will Tamara's finances continue to be abundant enough for her to be beyond comfortable? Yes. Truth, is there anything that she requires to become aware of around her finances so that she may keep herself comfortable? Yes. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that you require to just make sure you've got your budgets all in order, and then just be frugal for the next few months, so that you can get some reserves put to the side, and from there you'll be absolutely fine. Like, there's no issues from what I can see. All right. So just, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't stress. The thing is, if you stress too much, your finances will flow away from you, remember? And this stuff is also about your finances, because happiness follows money, or money follows happiness. If we are grumpy and judgmental and critical of others all the time and stuff like that, and critical of ourselves, the money will flow away from us. But if we are being loving and kind and gentle and all of that sort of stuff, and being in the space of gratitude, gratitude's a massive, massive thing for money. It will flow to you. The money will flow to you if you're continuing to be grateful. Okay. So yes, a happy pocket full of money. Okay. I love it. We're talking about ancestry now. Thank you for your donation, Tamara. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for keeping Find Your Fridays running. I'm so grateful. Crafting Possibilities is grateful. I'm grateful. And thank you for being part of the crew. How did I get so lucky? Alice Springs, Agnes, is, I'm guessing. Yes, Alice Springs is a place in South Australia. So it's out in the desert, in the middle of the freaking desert. I think, oh no, Alice is in Northern Territory. I apologize. Tamara, thank you. Trying not to stress, just know it might be a bit tight for a while. While I put my energy into building my business. Yeah. And it's okay. It's all right to be Rick, she probably doesn't even know where Uluru is. And I'm sorry if that's an assumption, Miss Agnes. But yes, Northern Territory. So in the big map of Australia, we've got the East Coast and the West Coast, and straight up the guts, we've got it sort of split in half. And we've got South Australia, which is where I am, and Northern Territory is up above that. And Alice Springs is kind of sort of near the border-ish between the two states. So there we go. See, I do know a little bit of geography. All right, now I want to go and see what else you guys have been talking about. Scottish and Irish. Oh wow, Amanda, I had no idea you had English, Irish, and Scottish blood too. And born in the middle of Australia. Poor guy Rick is quarter Scottish, quarter Irish, quarter Scottish, and quarter half Maltese. It's like the Malteser wrapped in other layers. I like it. Alice Springs. Cool. Yeah, I think the Irish and the Scottish and the English kind of, there might have been a bunch of root bags. Just from what I've observed, there's a lot of people out there with a good old chunk of Irish and Scottish, especially in this part of the world. It makes me laugh. Amanda, darling, it's your turn. Would you like to put your question? Welcome to the show, Agnes. I have no qualms about being un-PC with my language. Maybe not quite so YouTube friendly. What is Amanda's question? Smooth and crunchy, light as can be, a chocolate coat with a heart of gold, delicious I can be. Yes, good old Maltesers ad. My tea tonight is one of my favorites from the Advent calendar. It's the Earl Grey spiced tea. And it was a traditional chai blend with bergamot extracts. So it was black tea, cardamom, clove, black pepper, cinnamon, and bergamot. Amanda would love to hear what message her team has for me this week. Well, that's cool, because I will draw some cards for you just in a moment. Agnes would not have found you, but Hawkeye Rick was on. Aw. Isn't that lovely? What part of Scotland are you from, Agnes? Like north, south? Because Scotland's kind of rectangular, sort of. Who wishes to come and play with Amanda? Mm. Oh, okay. Big city. Big city girl. Have you always lived in Scotland, Agnes? Ah, cool. Have you travelled much? That's my next question. That's a good question for all of you. Have you travelled much? Amanda, I just said that with my best Scottish accent. I won't try to do a Scottish accent. I sort of, because it kind of floats between a weird Scottish Irish thing and it's probably offensive to both, so I don't. But that's just me because I float between a weird combo between like New Zealand and Aussie and English. So like Pommy English. So. Oh dear. A beast. So just to Spain. Cool. Amanda. Oh dear. Yes, darling, you have been traveling a little lately. Look at the river as it winds down. Rise like a deer going down Cheekside Creek. I love that song. Alrighty. So the cards that you got are the Shaman's Dream Oracle. These are always a bit of reading. Let us have a look and see what your team has for you. So you've got the Horned Cactus as your first card. Blooming through resilience, resourcefulness, and discovery. So that's pretty cool. When nothing seems to be happening fast enough or your ideas have dried up, you begin to question your relevance. During these periods in life, you might feel like giving up, frustrated and resentful that success will never happen for you. The issue here, however, is a matter of perception. The horned cactus thrives in the barren desertscape, offering you the gift of water when all appears to be dry. If you look at its body, you'll see the natural thorns that protect it from predators and the elements. What you don't see are the deep roots that extend far into the earth, filling it with continuous water flow. This succulent is a symbol of resilience, of resourcefulness, of your needs being met in spite of appearances to the contrary. It's a reminder of the courage and inherent wisdom needed to dig deep below the less than friendly surface that hides a rich underground world. Can you connect to this magical truth and trust? The desert is a mystical place filled with mysterious creatures beautifully adapted to their environments. The horned cactus tells you to take heart. This journey is only temporary and you will soon be met with greener pastures. But first you must acknowledge your inner strength, fortitude, as you're tested here. Be as the cactus, resilient and resourcefulness. And Rick is a very good world traveler. He's not lived or worked in South Australia. How fucking rude. Or Tasmania. But he's been to 18 countries, so we might let him off on that one. Oh dear. So I'm super grateful for the people who do paid readings because you guys are amazing. And you always get preference. So yes, my dear, if you're having any doubts at the moment about your validity or the meaning of your purpose or whatever, just know that you're putting down some pretty fucking deep roots at the moment, and you are sowing your magic over the whole of Australia. Everywhere you go, you're adding your magic to those areas, and that's a beautiful gift for the planet. So don't worry about the rest of it. It's okay. The rest of everything will be here when you come back, if you come back. In the meantime, you're off doing some mighty good work, so don't worry about it so much. The next card that you got is Spirit of the River. Oops, let me get that in the right spot so you can see it a bit better. Movement towards adventure, addiction to problems, and allowing and trusting the current. The spirit of the river invites you to step into the flow and stop swimming against or avoiding the current. Allow the waters to carry you downstream, away from the eddies and the whirlpools. It's time to heed the call of a new adventure awaiting for you. Stop working on the problem for a while. The issue is not what it seems. It is your addiction to fixing what has gone bad that is consuming so much of your time. Work to create a greater good, and the bad will resolve itself on its own. There is nothing that you cannot accomplish with more efforting. There is nothing you can accomplish with more efforting, as situations in your life right now are subject to forces beyond your control. Recognize this, step back, and trust the flow. There is no loss of face or lack of honor or integrity. It is simply the way things are at the moment. When this card appears, it is time to say yes to the next leg of your journey. Your life is like a river, inevitably and inexorably flowing to the sea, which is your divine destination. Be fearless and release yourself to the rushing water in the middle of the stream. Whatever it is that you are holding on to, the feelings, the thoughts, the beliefs about how things are or how they should be or could be, can be fixed easily with the power of the spirit of the river. Simply let go and enjoy the thrill of the ride. All will be well. Okay? So this is a very interesting card for you. And I just, looking at the previous one, looking at that one, it's like, how much are you trying to control where you guys go? It's like, what if you just let go? What if you just do something crazy, like just take a blindfold, go. So yeah, camped right next to the river for 6 weeks now. Been floating with the gentle current day before last. Beautiful. I'm curious to know, obviously you guys are going to be on the move again soon, because this is what this is all indicating. I'm like, obviously there's that river stuff, but we've also got desert. So maybe you guys are heading inland. Oh, I just heard Blue Mountains. Have you thought about going to the Blue Mountains, perhaps? So Agnes, what normally happens is, depending on how late it's getting, I will sometimes do like a free, it's a bit of an unusual thing about a free reading. and it's using my poetry book. So you do get a bit of a reading in there, and intuitive guidance, and that is free. But I get through all of my paid stuff first. Go drink a big glass of water. Hold your breath, take a big deep breath, Rick, and then scull the whole entire glass of water, and then you'll burp, and then everything will be right. For those of you who don't know, that's what I do to get rid of hiccups. The next card that we've got here is Beloved, the object of affection, radical acceptance, and loving what is. When the Beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the Beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one you have been waiting for. Know that this card comes as a mirror to show you the divine within and invite your radical acceptance of everything you consider beautiful or ugly in your being. The Beloved may not be a person at all. It may be a business adventure, a project, or an adventure calling for your full attention. Love it, let it light you up, and give it your all. Surrender to this truth and know that you are gaining a passport to bliss, even when it feels like you are being consumed by the fire of the Beloved. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender is the key. Allow yourself to be loved. It's like italicized. So I'm just going to read that little one again. Surrender is the key. Allow yourself to be loved. Usher the harsh critic out the door. Shut your eyes and ears to the judgment of others who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you, for they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking in the smoke. Be careful you are not seduced by false promises or fall prey to your extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams and desires. Sync with and sink into, SYNC, align with and sink into your heart and trust your sense of what is true. You will know what to do. The true Beloved is never false. Every gift proffered is valuable. Recognize the many faces of the Beloved and welcome them into your heart. You will be so glad you did. Okay. Oh, Rick, it's Mercury retrograde and my computer's doing weird shit. So, yes, every now and then there's like a little bit of a buffer moment. So I'm sorry about that. So yeah, Stelling, this is about open up your heart. This time at the moment, as I mentioned at the start of the show, we are having a lot of big heart opening moments right now. And clearly this is affecting you too, or gifted to you too. And given where you're at the moment with your wonderful living situation, it's intense. And it's in a camper van, but anyway, not so much in a tent. Sorry, dad joke. I would say just roll with it, dig down, let that old trauma stuff go, and open up and just be your beautiful, lovely, gorgeous self. I think you're going to come out of this Venus retrograde period a very different woman to when you went into it. But it's about opening up, going with the flow, allowing yourself to float with the river and all that sort of stuff. Your next card is... that shifted some energy. Yay! Interesting. The next one is lost in space, feeling lost and needing direction and focus a 24-hour day. Sometimes in life we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to addictive behaviors, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. This happens especially when we are up-leveling and genuinely changing for the better. A part of us hiding in the vast expansiveness of space wishes to sabotage our progress. Interesting. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable as we find that our thoughts and beliefs have morphed beyond recognition. You may find yourself adrift in this way right now, unable to focus or determine the next step. You might be tired and simply require to regroup and rest. When you lack direction, the first thing to do is to redirect your perspective of time. Like a newborn baby who needs swaddling to feel safe, you're invited to reduce your life visioning to the next 24 hours. Anyone can handle living in 24-hour compartments, which allows everything to feel grounded and manageable. You get lost in space when you imagine being swallowed up in the giant vastness of the future with its dark uncertainty, or reflect on how your past has held you captive in a hall of distorted, never-ending mirrors, reminding you of all your mistakes, flaws, failures, and losses. Take heart that the simple 24-hour container immediately banishes those two awful eternities away. You will find your energy and focus restored as you recognize that you were never lost at all. Keep it simple right now, conserve your energy, and take care of you in basic, fundamental ways, and the world will be right again. So, yeah. Keep it simple. As they used to say, it's the KISS technique. Keep it simple, stupid. But then they dropped the stupid because then they thought that wasn't very nice. So, yes, apply the KISS technique, please. And keep applying it until you're just kind of like you're breathing gently and easily again, and not trying to go too far into the future. It's okay to forward plan a little bit. And in the current way of things, of how you're living your life, I reckon 24-hour blocks is a pretty good way to go. I think that's pretty awesome. And I love that the cards have given you sort of like, they just sort of say, hey, it's okay. Just slow down, come back to your heart. You got this. You're doing more than you think you are. You're gifting way more to the planet, to this beautiful land of Australia, than anything you could have done just by staying here in Adelaide. So keep being gorgeous and lovely. Your card is being receptive, so it's about receiving, because it's not only about you gifting to the earth and to the sky and the people around you, it's also people, beings, planet, sentient beings, etc. It's also about you receiving from that, bringing that back through your heart. It's often when we're lost, it's because we feel like we're not in balance. So look at where you're not in balance at the moment, okay? And just take a breath. If you require to do a little bit of healing work, then do it. If your inner child's sort of having a little bit of a freak out at the moment, cool. You know how to do that. You know how to work with that. Okay? Thank you so much for your very generous donation, Amanda. I'm so grateful for you. Find Your Friday is grateful. Crafting Possibilities is grateful. And thank you so much for being here as part of the Find Your Fridays crew. So privileged to have such an amazing, gorgeous group of people together. How did I get so lucky? All right, Miss Catherine. it is your turn. What is your question, my darling? I'm grateful for you, Amanda. Thank you for bringing us the energies of other areas of Australia too. I'm so grateful for that. I love the injection of different energies from different areas of the world, and I feel very, very fortunate. Very fortunate. So Miss Catherine is the last one for the tonight of the paid readings, which is cool. Once she pops back in. Oh, good old Mercury retrograde's playing with Rick's phone, apparently. Okay, Catherine, where are you? Who wishes to play with Catherine? Hopefully she's gone to the loo. Or maybe gone to sleep. Yes, A Happy Pocket Full of Money is a fabulous book. If you're, it's not too long. Let me see while I'm. Interesting question, Catherine. Okay, those cards still wish to come through. So let me just grab that book up. Ooh, which reminds me, I have been listening to another book. Hang on. So yes, A Happy Pocket Full of Money, Expanded Study Edition by David Cameron Gikandi. Gikandi. So tomorrow specifically, that was the one that I was talking about. So it's A Happy Pocket Full of Money, Expanded Study Edition by David Cameron Gikandi. Okay. So the book that I have been listening to is it's called We Are the Stars, and it is from Gina Chick. And it goes, a misfit's story of love, connection, and the glorious power of letting go. So your Scottish is getting better. You're funny. So yes, that story has made me giggle and laugh, and at times going like that, exclaim. So yes, please, if you wish to have a story, a human interest story, that's a really good one. It covers a really vast variety. It's her story. It's Gina Chick's story. So autobiography, but done in a very humorous way. At the same time, it's a very, in some ways, some of the topics and things that she covers can be a little bit challenging. If you haven't done your own healing work, if it may be a little bit activating for you. But at the same time, if you stick with it and you see how she's progressing through it, it's just lovely. It's really truly is. And You just, wow. So yes, We Are the Stars by Gina Chick, and I'm just absolutely blown away. It was recommended to me by a beautiful participant in the Last Woman's Circle that I attended, and just so grateful that I did actually get to that. I went, yeah, okay, I'll get that. That sounds good. I have no idea what it's about, but when you just follow those invitations, amazing things can happen. So Agnes, so my accent is a bit of a weird one because my mum had a very high priority on speaking properly. So it's milk Lorene, not milk. It's library Lorene, not library. So my natural accent is a very more well-rounded English. But then there was things like people would think that I was more from the South Island or something like that because I would roll my R's a lot more. So I can do invercargo, which is how the invercargo people would say it. So it's interesting because I used to say, do I still say it? Work? Yeah, I do. And I don't know where the fuck that came from because nobody around me says work, but I say work. I don't know who I'm channeling, but yeah, that's been a part of my snobbish, yeah, a little bit poncy as I was growing up, which didn't always make me friends because it's like everyone's, she's so up herself, she's upstuck because listen to how she talks, and it's like, well, I can't help it. My mom's like a real grammar and spelling police person, I can't help it. I have to speak properly at home. And so when you speak properly at home, it just kind of carries on. But I was talking with what was she the other day? Because my day job is I'm a specialist cleaner. And part of that role is I get to go sometimes into people's homes and do just a regular schedule clean for them. And this lady, she was from Italy, I think. And she was saying how she's like, I'm very sorry, my English is not good. And I was like, I can hear you just fine. And she goes, I've been here for more than 40 years, but my English is still not good. People can't understand me. That's why I keep asking if you can understand me. And I'm like, yeah, I can understand you just fine. And so I'd repeat back to her what she was saying to me so that she knew that I understood what she was talking about. And I said to her, here's the crazy thing. Even though I'm a Kiwi and I speak like this, Australians still sometimes don't understand what I'm saying. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah. So it's not just you. Australians sometimes don't have good ears. They don't have good ears for anything that's not their accent. So it is funny. Cool. Yeah, it's interesting work, but my favorite work is actually doing like hoard decluttering, squalor type cleans. It's very satisfying work, very, very, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. And so the fact that I'm working for a company that does all sorts of stuff, including deceased estate clear outs, death cleanup, meth labs, all sorts of stuff. I have been able to experience some of those things. It's awesome. And I very much am so grateful because I am someone who doesn't like humdrum. I like being able to do different work all the time. I don't like knowing what I'm going to be doing on the 20th of the month. Like when I was working as an admin manager back in New Zealand, it was right. And I did it for like 2.5 years and I got so bored. And when I left, they had to replace me with 3 people because my job was so big that it couldn't be covered by one person alone. They had to recover, like they had to take on 3 people. And I was bored. Gotta love being me. So now I get to do a job where I get a lot of variety and I get to meet lots of different people, and I get to work with my teammates sometimes, and a lot of times I'm on my own. And now I'm a team leader, so it's like I get to do that sort of slight leadership role. Not slight, it is a leadership role. It's great. I enjoy it a lot. Thank you, Rick. I'm glad you can understand my accent. That makes it good. It makes things a lot easier. Oh, excuse me. Regardless of what happens with this relationship, Catherine, I get the sense it's going to move a lot of energy for you. That's what that big yawn was about. It was like, whatever is happening, because as I was tuning in, it was like, oh, yeah. And with it, there's going to be a lot of healing. So this friendship for you is going to create a lot of expansiveness in your world. And as we know, when we get into a relationship where there's a lot of healing, a lot of expansiveness, it can be a little bit scary sometimes, because it means that we have to soften and become more vulnerable, and not be scared and push them away too quick. It's like, it's okay just to lean in. As the good old saying, get really comfortable with being uncomfortable, not unsafe, like as in, like, if somebody's abusing you, that's a whole other thing. Like, not that. I'm talking about learning a new normal and learning how to be in that space of being in your divine feminine flow and allowing that to be your normal. Often as women who have lived on our own or had to be that strong, independent type person, even in relationship, learning how to then switch out of that masculine flow, because that's a lot of that happens when we're being independent in that way, and remembering how to be in our feminine polarity. Obviously, we have the masculine and the feminine, but it's like, as a woman, coming through and being into your feminine, which means receiving from, your base, your core, coming up and expressing your heart. That is feminine, right? And then this is what it's going to bring out for you. So if you're not doing that particularly well, you might find that you start having throat issues, chest and throat issues, if you're not in your feminine flow properly. Okay, this is before I've even switched over any cards, but I was certainly getting some healing stuff is going to be happening for you. Okay, So I also just double checked with the pendulum, the rose quartz pendulum. I asked, is there a possibility that this new friendship is going to grow towards intimacy? And it came out as a yes, there is the possibility. Okay. So cards wise, let us have a look. We got Coral, which is about allowing flow and synchronicity into your life. Of course, these are Ina Segal's secret language of color cards. It's the Ina Segal day today, apparently. I love it when her cards come out, but it's so funny. There's so many of them. Anyway, and I don't even have a full set, like a full all of them, but anyway. So we've got the flow and synchronicity into your life. So with this one, like I said, there's that healing aspect. There's that, oh, naughty. You're going to be challenged to be in your flow, okay? And this is a good thing. This is a very good thing. And you'll have a lot of moments where you'll find a lot of synchronicities between you. And like, these are just the moments of going, these are the signs, if you like, that everything is on the right track. So just watch out for those synchronicities, watch out for those signs, because they'll show you that you are indeed on the right track. And try not to fight it. Try not to fight the shifts and the changes that are coming, because it's, yeah, this is going to be a very interesting one. These healing bars are going bloody bonkers. We've got Lighten Up, which is white. So stop trying to be so tough. Just stop trying to control it. Stop trying to control the direction. Just relax into it. One of the things that I know full well is that if this person is not triggering your anxiety, like, you know, attachment styles, you know, you have your secure, your anxious, and your avoidant attachment styles. You can also have anxious avoidance. That's a whole other one. But if this person is not triggering you and not making you feel like, oh my God, I've got to prove, I've got to, you know, if you feel just really super comfortable with them, trust that. All right. It's okay to be an allowance of this energy coming through. All right. But you've got to lighten up. Stop trying to control this shit. Allow it to be. Cherry, live an extraordinary life. So in relation to this potential relationship becoming more intimate, I get the sense that they're going to make things really interesting for you. And you will make things interesting for them too. You will get to have the sweetness of life. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And what I'm seeing right now is, you know, that little trick that some people can do with the cherry stem in their mouth, and they put it in their mouth and they just turn it around and it turns into a knot. Just enjoy the fun, enjoy the ride, enjoy where this is going, because it's like, it's something special, it's unique. So yes, enjoy. There's a lot of really cool stuff indicated here. In amongst all of that though, we've got, you must ground yourself. All right, don't get too swept away with the fantasy of it all. Just, okay. And also be very aware of if you find yourself slipping into people pleasing and wrapping yourself around them too much. Okay. That's a really good sign that you're not being grounded. So just make sure that you're just keeping yourself nice and balanced and grounded, and still love them. Like, enjoy being and with them and enjoying their company and all of that sort of stuff. And as the feelings grow and deepen and all that sort of stuff, just remember to keep yourself in your own goddess space as well, and being your beautiful, potent, gorgeous, talented self. Okay, this is the beauty of who you be. Okay. Feeling very chilled, going with the flow and embracing the joy. Wonderful. That's such good news. Oh, there's another card to come out. Hang on. Okay. Which one? This one? Okay. Apparently, there is a goddess, god, or guardian wishing to come and speak with you. So let's have a look and see who that is. It's like, don't forget. All right. They get very pushy sometimes when they think that I'm not listening in totality. It's like, it's okay. All right. It's all right. I got it. I think your team is very excited about this new intimacy, this new connection. That's a good word for it. This new connection of yours. Okay, you guys are funny. Oh dear. You'll understand when you see it. All right. So the beautiful goddess card or guardian is the mermaid of Lemuria, which is joy. Okay. So drop the worry habit, embrace the lightheartedness. Lemuria was a light-scented civilization where peaceful inhabitants maintained an exceptionally pure connection to the divine. Lemurian knowledge was embedded within crystals, stones, plants, and the ocean. Mer people were an extension of the water element, vibrating to a note of pure joy. The mermaids carried the fluidity of the divine feminine and were expert at balancing energy through play, relaxation, dance, creative movement, and sound healing. They freely expressed their carefree love of life. So the next thing is, I see how much time and energy you spend worrying about the future. You're trying to control and plan everything out of fear. This approach is outworn and it dulls your radiance. I'm here to clear you of rigid, anxious patterns that sap your life force and cloud your spiritual vision. So, yeah, they're just asking you to have fun, enjoy. She's here to remind you, just keep going with the fun and enjoyment of doing what you're doing, and don't doubt it. You got this. That was the funniest ever. Well done, team. Well done. Now your love card, or your yummy card, is joyous. So I think you're well good, love. I think you're doing everything just fine. And you've got a lot of good positivity coming out of what you're doing right now. So congratulations. And I love hearing that you found somebody to just connect with that lights you up and brings you a lot of joy. So oh, that is just the best. Just the best. That I couldn't have planned that if I'd tried. Seriously, that was just hilarious. All right. Thank you so much for your super kind donation, Catherine. I'm incredibly grateful for you. Thank you for helping to keep Find Your Fridays running. and I look forward to seeing how this develops for you. And long term, short term, whatever term, enjoy it, because clearly that's what your team wishes for you to do. Oh dear. All right, so yes, lots of joy. Agnes says, my daughter Kerry works in an office and she is a manager. She does everything in her jobs. She also travels all over the UK. Hey, how cool is that? I still get to travel a little bit when I was still in New Zealand, but in my last job, I traveled a lot more because I was literally a traveling sales consultant. But I was also doing, I was also a technical specialist for that team too. So I would go, because I was working in the building industry, and so I'd go out to building sites and inspect and instruct the builders on how to apply the products that we were selling. Agnes says, me, I don't do nothing, but I'm in my bed all the time because of my illness. Ah, okay. Interesting. A friend of mine, she had a very serious back injury, and she ended up bedbound for more than 12 months. And after her initial spell of deep depression, she decided that she wishes to, she was like, I have to do something. I don't know what to do, but I have to do something. So she ended up teaching herself how to paint. And she was painting in her bed. So she would lie in bed, propped up on pillows, and she would just have the canvas in front of her or on her legs, like just propped up there, and I'm guessing with pillows and things. I'm not sure. I haven't quite asked her the details of how she did that. But she did say that there were times where she was literally like painting like this because she couldn't sit up, but she wanted to paint. So that's what she did. And she is one of the most tenacious women that I've ever met. While she was sort of getting herself back on her feet after 12 months, she then went, do you know what I need to do? I need to find out. I need to do something because, I'm not going to be able to go to work again. I can't do anything like that. So, but I'm too young to be, doing nothing with my brain. So what she did is she started learning how to use, this is going back a few years now, but she started learning how to use social media. And from there, she ended up creating some social media sort of kind of like interaction platform information stuff. And then she got into the freedom era. And then from there, she was then learning about water. And then she got into Kangen or Enagic, I should say. And then from there, she's really used all of her skills to help create a really great business for herself. But her first steps were going, you know what? I'm not just going to sit around and do nothing for the rest of my life. I have to do something that brings me joy. And painting was the thing that brought her joy. And she's in her 50s now. So you're never too late to start something. So it's like you can start anything at any age. My grandmother, she worked until she was 81. She was a cook in a kitchen, and a hospital kitchen. And the only reason she stopped working was because she decided that she shouldn't have to ask permission from a 30-year-old to go and ride her horses for 5 days because she loves to do horse trekking. And so she quit. She retired at 81. She's turning 89 in a couple of months. and at the start of May. And she still loves her horse tracking. She still goes. She still has the farm. She still does all those sorts of things. But what I'm saying is, like, at the point where most of her peers were going, oh, I'm too old to do X, Y, Z. She was like, bugger that for a joke. I'm getting out there and I'm just doing my life. And I'm doing the things that make me feel good. So if it might be an online course, like, what is it? Tony from earlier, from New Zealand. She spends a lot of time in her bed as well from illnesses, but she's done all sorts of online courses and stuff like that. So there's always ways to help keep your brain going and to be a contribution. So I would just open up that little bit of a doorway of possibilities for you, Agnes, I wonder how you could share your light, how you could share your magic and your talents and your crafts or whatever it is. I have always maintained and said that it doesn't matter who you are or where you are, what job you are. You still have the ability to share your magic with the people around you. And it can be something as simple as just being the kindest person in the room. It can be as simple as, when the story I told, I think it was last week, of going across a pedestrian crossing at the supermarket. And when this lady stopped to let me walk over the pedestrian crossing, which she's meant to do anyway, and I've waved and I said, bye. I mean, I didn't say bye. I said, thank you, as I went across. And she just went, wow, that absolutely just made my day. It's something I do naturally. Whenever somebody stops for me in traffic, I wave and I say, thank you. That's me sharing my magic, right? So I wonder, what is it that's your magic that you could share with the world, or even just in the people close to you in your home, that you're not acknowledging as your magic? And if you did acknowledge it, you could help that to grow and be even more amazing. It's like, what if this is your time to gain a shit ton of knowledge? Audible's a freaking wonderful thing. Or if you like Kindle, like if you prefer to read, actually physically read, Kindle's great. So there's a lot of things you can do from the comfort of your bed. Yes, you can get creative like my friend did. She's got these beautiful paintings. Oh my God, you should see them. Beautiful images of birds and frogs, and because that's the one thing that's amazing about Australia is the bird life here is just stunning, like so pretty. Lots of very bright colors. I love that about Australia. Everyone said I could do what you do, but I can't. My sister can. Again, the conversation I had with somebody this week was the only difference, and this is a saying I've had for a long time. The only difference between can't and can is the letter T. I like tea, but I prefer to drink it rather than letting it stop me from doing things. Oh, funny. Melinda is going off to bed now. Night, everyone. Wishing you a wonderful, restful night's sleep. An amazing week ahead. Hugs to you all. Mwah. Good night, Melinda. Thank you for tuning in. There's another beautiful goddess who doesn't let ailments hold her back. So it's pretty cool. I am surrounded by lots of inspirational people. How cool is that? Love it. All right, so poetry book time, because I did promise I would. I didn't promise, but I said I indicated that I may. So let us do that. So what we do now is we are going to do a process called the expanding out process. And this is to help you tap into your own intuition. You can use this. Oh, don't be sorry, Agnes. I love fresh blood. Oh dear. So this is a process that you can use anytime, anywhere. If you're feeling tight, contracted, pain, anything, if you have to go to a place where there's a lot of people and you're not really feeling the vibes of having to be around a lot of people, but you still got to go, you can use this tool. If you're in a lot of traffic and it's a bit clogged up, you can use this tool, and the traffic around you will start to loosen up and give you a lot of gaps. If you've got to call like a government department or something like that, you can use this tool, and you'll find that you will have a much easier time with them on the other end. So yeah, this is a tool that's not just about meditation. It's not just about healing. It's an everyday accessible tool that you can use. And this is why I bring it in at least once throughout the show, because I wish for you guys to know it, to get really familiar with it and use it in between, you know, because it is so good to use. And it has made a huge difference in my life ever since I started using it, like, God, at least 8 years ago, at least. So yes. Oh, my tea's not quite finished. It is now. All right, so close your eyes. Big deep breath. And letting it out. Big deep breath in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your feet. Bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Bring Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Bring Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Now grabbing your sense of awareness and expanding that out so that you become very aware of your body. You feel all the cells and molecules in your body. You can become aware of your internal organs pumping and working. You become aware of your blood flowing through your veins and your arteries. Become aware of your breath. And now expanding out your awareness to the size of the room that you're in a big bubble. Above, below, in front and behind, and out to the sides. Expanding out your awareness to the size of the building that you're in. Expanding out your awareness up into the sky, down into the earth, to the size of the country that you're on, to the size of the planet, to the size of the solar system. Expanding out your awareness beyond the galaxies. And now beyond the universes. Take a big deep breath in. Just allow your body just to readjust. Now focusing on your body once more, grab your sense of allowance. And your sense of allowance is the ability for you to be able to Perceive, know, be, and receive other people's energies, thoughts, feelings, and emotions for exactly what they are. It takes you from being a tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of the raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, feeling like the victim, feeling like if life happens to you, not with you, feeling battered and bruised by everybody else's stuff, and turns you from that tight, contracted little pebble as you expand out your allowance into that big, beautiful, fluffy white cloud floating along, where you see that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and you see it for exactly what it is. It's just energy. And it's your choice whether you respond to that or not. You go from being a reactive space to a responding space. From a space where you feel like you have no choice to seeing that you have all the choices. And you can also choose to just float on by and not play in that silly game of that river. So if that sounds pretty good to you, let's expand out your allowance, out beyond the size of your body, up into the sky and down into the earth, expanding out your allowance in a big, beautiful bubble, beyond the size of the country that you're on, beyond the size of the planet, beyond the size of the solar system, beyond the size of the galaxies, beyond the size of the universes. And now expanding out your allowance beyond your awareness. Take a big deep breath in and out. And now, what number between and including 1 and 88 is the number that is going to create the most for you, the most awareness for you over this next week? Whatever number is popping into your head, please put that in the chat now. Amanda, some birds in Australia are beautiful and some are screechy. Yes, this is very true. Their colors might be beautiful, but their voices, whew. So yes, please put that number into the chat right now. Thank you, Agnes. All right. You got 2 words. My love, my darling. Us together every day. Living life in love, falling deep, blissfully happy, openly crying, totally unafraid, loving you even more every moment. This is a love letter from your body to you. It is trying to love you deeply. And there's a lot of judgment in your world around your body, around your pain, around all that you are experiencing right now. So let the love in. Come back to the loving of yourself. Come back to the space where you can have gratitude. I highly recommend for you Doing the Magic by Rhonda Byrne. Do the process. It is a 28-day process. It is a beautiful, beautiful process. If you are able to write or type into your phone, either way is fine. It's an incredible gratitude process. And I highly, highly, highly recommend that for you. So come back, enjoy, be with you, okay? So, yes. And I'm also hearing that this is a grandmother also floating around. Let me see if I can figure out which side it is. Your mum's mum. I'm getting, she was a tough old biddy, but she loved you very much. And she's saying, please don't give up. You still got a lot of life left to live, so please don't give up. Okay. All right. Thank you for playing. Thank you for being here. I hope that helps. Melinda, 56. You are the love of my life and my rock. You are the one who makes me laugh even when I'm crying. You are the one that I trust when everyone else is against me. You are my heart. You are my companion. You are my soul, and I love you. Melinda, what I'm hearing with this one is your big love is on the way. They're a little way away, but they are on the way. And this poem is about what's to come. And that's something to give you like incentive to keep going, to keep clearing out, keep creating space. Okay. Night night, Rick. You don't want, oh, Rick's gonna have, or are you just saying goodnight to everyone else? Let's see what Rick's chosen. Hope you enjoyed that. Oh, hang on. You're up. Amanda, 76. Let's do these in order so I don't miss them. Why would you be going to sleep now, Rick? All right. Amanda, 76 is self-honesty. See, when you guys put comments under each other, I can't see it like that. It just comes up as an individual comment on my chat. So I'm just like going, oh, I think that person might actually be talking to that person. That's all good. I don't know. Amanda, self-honesty. Such a delicate balance. One's happiness and love. To pull away, to give space, to allow you to think. But my heart wants what is opposite to my head. My gut wants the same as my heart. I know that if I let you go, my heart will hurt. You are so special to me. I am complete within myself, but you access a part of my heart that very few have ever done. I'm allowing you in. I am not frightened of what you may think of me, but I am frightened that you may decide not to be with me. Darling, stop overthinking. Trust your heart and try not to self-sabotage. Okay, that's what I was getting with this. It's like sometimes just because somebody requires a little bit of space, it's okay. We all require a little bit of space sometimes. And you're in a very unique, intense living situation, being situation, and it's good. And sometimes I think, as a very smart man in my life says, communication with clarity is really important. And quite often we haven't always learned how to communicate with clarity. Sometimes we will push when we are meant to just ask. It's a funny old thing. So keep feeling into the love, all right? You're two very strong individuals. And sometimes strong individuals require some breathing space sometimes from each other. Enjoy. Stop bloody overthinking it. All right, Rick. Hopefully you're still floating around. Let's see what yours says. All right. You're going to enjoy this one, Rick. The entanglement. As I get tangled deeper into the web of love, the overwhelming feeling of sadness covers me. I need you to be near. I cry these tears, and although they are in sadness, they are for the love that I feel for you. Sometimes you question if I really do love you. These tears aren't fake, and neither are my words. This web which is being woven around my heart is especially for you and me. And no matter how far apart we are, I know that we'll be thinking of each other in that special way that only a couple can. Do I need to say more? I will read to you what the bottom part says. How beautifully perceptive you are, sweet man, questioning if I do love you. It truly wasn't about me not loving you. What you were aware of is my slight hesitancy in being vulnerable with you. So it was creating a wonk in what you were perceiving from me. I had been through a real tough time that year, and to be honest, the years before that hadn't been so great either. But thanks to you, you showed me a different possibility, and for that, I'm unequivocally grateful. So, yes, what is happening in your life right now is beautiful. It's big. There's a lot of shifting going on and a lot of heart opening. And I get that's happening on both sides. So enjoy. Oh my goodness, that was great. And there we go. That is everybody from the poetry side of things. Crikey is right. Oh, I love it. All right, now jumping right back to the beginning of today. We've had a few readings tonight actually come out with the grounding side of things. You're welcome, Agnes. You're welcome. There's loads of inspiration around. And when we start thinking more positively about stuff around us, it's incredible what can happen in our worlds. It's like you kind of go, why did that person be so lucky? And it's because they're just incredibly, intensely grateful for all the things, all the little things. And then it's like, oh, well, if it's easy as that, well, geez. It's like that Happy Pocket Full of Money book. That's right up along there. It's a really easy, tangible way of talking about the quantum mechanics of the universe and how it works. And it's such a very palatable book that I was really glad when it was recommended to me. Because initially I was like, this is a weird recommendation. But as soon as it was like, Wow. So let's do our meditation now. Now that we're all nice and expanded out and we're happy little campers, time to sit back and relax. If you aren't already. And we're going to do a bit of a grounding process and a lowering of barriers process. So because there's a lot of energies up around at the moment around bringing those barriers down, and doing it in this format is going to allow you to do that with a bit more ease and to perhaps even perceive what your barriers are. So given that we're nice and expanded out already, thanks to the poetry, yay, or rather doing it before the poetry, let us close our eyes once more. And now, just tune into your body. And now say to yourself, I give myself permission to feel my body and receive deep and profound messages from it. I give myself permission to be fully present in my body. I love my body and I'm grateful for it, giving me a chance to experience life. Take slow, deep breaths. Move your attention from your head down to your shoulders, into your heart, down your arms, to your fingers, through your stomach, your pelvis and your reproductive system, through your legs, all your way down through to your toes. And in this moment, imagine that energy, imagine your awareness is now flowing out of your feet like streams of energy or roots of a tree, whichever helps you to connect deeper, or maybe a combination of them both, going down, down, down into Mother Earth. Feel the energy of Mother Earth. You're tapping in to the pulse and the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Become aware of all the smaller signals, the other communications going on all around you, from the trees, the plants, the birds. Begin to perceive the energies flowing all around you, the earth being incredibly alive. No matter if you're in the middle of the desert or the rainforest or lush green pastures or in the big city. Those energies are tickling at the edges of your roots, of your energy flows, energy streams going down into the center of Mother Earth. Gets to a point where you can't even really feel the difference between your feet and the earth. You become one. You are deeply grounded. And it feels good. It feels safe. If you're an overthinker, you can start to feel the energy moving from your head through to your heart so that you can perceive the messages from your heart so much easier. And now as you bring your awareness out and start to become aware of the barriers that you have constructed around you from childhood through your teenage years, through your 20s and beyond. And as you look at these barriers, maybe you're able to imagine reaching out and touching them. They might feel very solid like brick. They might feel a little flexible. They might even hurt. I'm going to ask you now to be incredibly brave. And you're going to reach up to the top. Imagine reaching up to the very, very top of those barriers with all the love and support of Mother Earth flowing through you from the base of your feet all the way up, flowing through those roots, through your feet, and all the way up through to your very tops and tips of your fingers. Unconditional love is now flowing through you. And as you reach for the top of your barriers, no matter how tall they are, you'll be able to reach them. And with the unconditional love flowing out of your hands, they're now coming along the wall and beginning to melt them, pushing them down. And as you're doing this, you might feel a little emotional, and that's totally okay and normal. Every single brick, every single piece, every single moment that has contributed to these barriers being put up, these walls, was put there in order to keep you safe at that time. But it's no longer relevant. You're older, you are wiser, you're more aware now than you have ever been. So as these bricks, these blocks, these moments begin to melt away and the barriers get smaller and smaller all around you, flow gratitude from your heart up through to your hands. Gratitude for all of those moments keeping you safe. All of those moments that allowed you to be where you are today. And also with the knowing that today you require to be and do something different. this world that we are now living in doesn't fit for all of these barriers being up. It doesn't work. And our greatest desire is for you to have the most ease as you transition into the 5D realm. But to be in the 5D, you cannot have these barriers up. They have to be down, if not gone, forever. These barriers are preventing you from having all of your gifts, all of your talents, all of your capacities to their fullest extent. They are preventing you from having a clear, concise, crystal clear connection with each other. It's preventing you from having that crystal clear connection with the collective and your own intuition. It's preventing you from being that ultimate space of power, which is your vulnerability. And vulnerability doesn't mean naivety. It means being open to receiving and being discerning. As those barriers come down, down, past your waist, it begins to get a lot easier. Keep breathing as those little moments pop up into your awareness. Just see more unconditional love and gratitude through that, soothing that inner child, allowing yourself to relax and know that everything is okay. You are safe. You're just learning to be, remembering your true self. These barriers go down past your thighs, slowly and gently, magically allowing them to move down and away, past your knees, past your shins and your calves, down past your ankles, and past your feet. And as you rub your hands along the ground, you say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to the barriers. Thank you to the lessons. Thank you for the information. And now as you stand back up, those barriers stay down because they have been absorbed as energy back into Mother Earth to be used for other things. And as you stand back up, you stand tall and confident. You may even be starting to receive a bit of information now from your team, from your spirit team. And if that's the case, enjoy the information flowing through easily. Place your hands on your heart. Feel your heart beat. If your mind is going a million miles an hour and your ego is having a little bit of a freak out, just allow it to breathe. Identify that inner child part of yourself which is contributing to the freak out, and give that inner child the biggest hug in the world. Do a little bit of Ho'oponopono for everything in me that has activated that in you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. One more time. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Taking a nice big deep breath in. And out. And please know that from this point onwards, you have and always have had the conscious choice as to whether those barriers were there or not. You will feel a little different over this next 24 hours. You might be seeing the world a little differently. You may see plants and birds and people as absolutely gorgeous, delicious, incredible, beautiful beings on this earth. You might look out your window and for the first time be able to see everything in vibrant, vibrant colors. Because the barriers dull your vision. They stop you from seeing the vibrancy of all the colors around you. And now it is time to step underneath the big, beautiful crystalline waterfall where you feel the water flowing over and through your body, washing away any other little fragments of those barriers or any other energies you're ready to get rid of right now. Now stepping out onto the big warm river rock, you feel the warmth of Mother Earth once again underneath your feet. Taking a big deep breath in and breathing out. And breathing in, bring Mother Earth all the way up through those roots in your feet, all the way up. Bringing Father Sky energy all the way down, 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 through your body as you breathe out. Breathing in, bringing that unconditional love and Mother Earth energy all the way up through your feet. Now bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Beautiful. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. For self-care, please have a drink of water and enjoy seeing the world through beautiful, vibrant eyes. Now, over the weekend and for this week coming, please do something tasty for yourself. Until next time, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friend. See you next time. Bye-bye.